Welcome to Moonbeam Mysteries. Welcome to sleep with us. I'm your friend, Ava the Moon Fairy. As night falls, it's time to lie quietly in your cozy bed. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Feel the softness of your pillow and the warmth of your blanket. Tonight, I'm going to tell you a magical bedtime story about a beautiful mermaid princess and her alien friend. Our story tells about Princess Serafina, a kind and lovely mermaid with long, curly purple hair and big purple eyes. She loves the tranquility of the beach. One day, she meets a tiny, pink, furry alien named Luna, who changes her life in the most wonderful way. Are you ready to join Serafina and Luna's adventure? Let's dive into this enchanting story and discover how friendship and love can bring the most precious treasures to our lives. Now, please close your eyes. Imagine the waves gently hypnotizing you and enter this wonderful story with me. Once upon a time, in the depths of a sparkling blue ocean, there was a magical kingdom called Aquamaris. This kingdom was a place of wonder, with coral castles, gardens of vibrant seaweed, and schools of colorful fish that swam through the streets. The walls of the castles shimmered with pearls and precious gems, reflecting the beauty of the underwater world. Elegant sea creatures swam gracefully, and the sun's rays filtered through the water, creating a kaleidoscope of colors that danced across the kingdom. In this enchanted kingdom lived a beautiful mermaid princess named Serafina. Serafina was the envy of all for her breathtaking appearance. She had long, curly hair that cascaded down her back in waves of deep purple, matching her mesmerizing violet eyes. Her skin was smooth and fair, glowing with an ethereal light. She wore elegant seashell tiaras and flowing gowns made of the finest silks and sea pearls. Despite her beauty, Princess Serafina had a peculiar quirk. She was afraid of trouble. This fear controlled many aspects of her life. She avoided eating watermelon because the seeds were messy and might cause a fuss. She never attended the grand dances held in the royal ballroom, fearing the potential for mishaps. She didn't make friends, preferring the solitude of her own company. Serafina rarely spoke and refused to attend magic classes, except for learning one spell: invisibility, which she used to hide from anything that might bother her.
Serafina, dear, why don't you come to the dance tonight?
Her mother, Queen Thalassa, asked one evening. Serafina shook her head, her purple curls bouncing slightly.
No, Mother. It's too noisy. And what if something goes wrong?
Queen Thalassa sighed.
You can't hide forever, Serafina. The kingdom needs you.
But Serafina preferred her quiet life. Her daily needs were meticulously managed by her very capable maid, Marina. Marina took care of everything with meticulous attention to detail, from selecting Serafina's clothes to ensuring her meals were perfect. Marina was always there, ready to handle any issue that might arise, no matter how small. Serafina's greatest joy was to use her invisibility spell to sneak away from the bustling kingdom. She would glide silently to a secluded beach above the waves, where she could bask in the warm sun. Invisible to the world, she lay on the soft sand, enjoying the peace and quiet, far from any trouble.
Your Highness, you're going to the beach again, aren't you?
Marina asked one morning, noticing Serafina's distant gaze. Serafina nodded with a small smile.
It's the only place I feel truly at peace, Marina.
Her behavior worried her mother, Queen Thalassa, deeply. The queen often tried to talk to Serafina, urging her to engage more with the kingdom and its people. But Serafina remained distant, preferring her solitude. People outside the palace whispered about her, calling her unreasonable, arrogant, and indifferent. Despite this, her stunning beauty attracted many suitors who lined up to win her heart. Serafina, however, paid them no mind, preferring her quiet, trouble-free existence.
Why won't she at least try to socialize?
One court lady whispered to another.
She's too beautiful to care about anyone else.
The other replied.
Arrogant, that's what she is.
But Serafina didn't care about the whispers or the endless stream of suitors. She just wanted to avoid trouble and enjoy her peaceful life. Serafina loved her time on the beach. The warm sun kissed her skin, and the gentle sound of waves crashing against the shore brought her peace. Invisible to everyone, she lay on the soft sand, feeling the light breeze and smelling the salty air. This was her sanctuary, a place where she could escape all her worries and responsibilities. One sunny afternoon, as she lay there enjoying the tranquility, Serafina noticed something unusual out of the corner of her eye. A tiny, strange creature was wandering near the shore. It was palm-sized, pink, and covered in soft, fluffy fur. It had big, round eyes that sparkled with curiosity. The creature looked like a small ball of fur. Serafina had never seen anything like it before. She thought it looked adorable, like a tiny, pink fur ball. The creature seemed thirsty and approached the water's edge, trying to drink from the sea. Serafina knew the salt water would be a terrible idea, but speaking out to stop, it felt like too much trouble. She watched silently, hoping the creature would figure it out on its own. To her dismay, the little pink ball of fur took a sip of the salty water. Instantly, it made a funny face and started making strange noises that Serafina had never heard before. Mermaids could understand the language of animals, but this creature's sounds were entirely foreign. It seemed terrified and confused. Suddenly, a wave swept the tiny creature into the sea. It began to panic, splashing around and making more strange noises. Serafina felt a pang of concern. She knew the creature was in danger, and she didn't want to cause trouble. But her kind heart couldn't ignore its plight. She watched for a long time, hoping it would find its way back to shore. But as the minutes passed and the creature struggled more, she realized it was going to drown. With a deep sigh, Serafina decided to help. She swam gracefully through the waves, revealing herself from her invisibility. She reached out and scooped the little furball into her hands. This was the first time she held a living creature, and a strange warmth came from the palms of her hands. The creature clung to her, trembling and making pitiful noises.
You're safe now.
Serafina said softly, even though she knew it couldn't understand her words. As she held the tiny, frightened creature, Serafina's heart softened. She couldn't leave it alone in such a dangerous place. Serafina gently handed the wet, shivering little furball to her maid, Marina. The tiny creature looked pitiful, its pink fur matted and its big, round eyes filled with confusion. Marina took it cautiously, but as soon as she did, the furball squirmed free and ran back to Serafina, hiding behind her.
Your Highness,
Marina said, trying to mask her frustration.
it seems this little one is quite attached to you.
Marina tried to lure the creature with clean water and food, but the little furball only stared at Serafina. Serafina sighed and decided to seek help. She summoned the most knowledgeable people in the kingdom, including those best at taking care of small animals. They all tried to entice the little furball with various treats and interesting toys, but it refused everything, its gaze never leaving Serafina.
This is extraordinary,
said one of the scholars.
It seems to have formed a unique bond with you, Princess.
Time passes by, and the little furball grew weaker. Serafina saw the little creature almost dying of thirst. Despite her usual reluctance to handle such matters, she took a water cup and, for the first time, tried to feed a living creature. She gently brought the cup to the little furball's mouth, and to her relief, it drank eagerly.
Seems to only trust you, Your Highness.
Marina observed. From that moment on, wherever Serafina went, the little furball followed. Its endless curiosity often got it into trouble, which made Serafina's life more complicated and filled with unexpected challenges. The first incident happened in the palace kitchen. The little furball wandered off and attracted by the shiny silverware. The little furball tried to climb onto a shelf, but it slipped and fell into a pot of soup. Serafina had to fish it out, wet and smelling like vegetables.
Little furball, you can't go exploring like this.
Serafina scolded gently, drying the little creature with a towel. She was both annoyed and amused by its antics. The second time, the little fur ball ventured into the royal garden. It was fascinated by the colorful flowers and tried to sniff every bloom. Unfortunately, some plants were prickly, and the little fur ball ended up with tiny thorns stuck in its fur. Serafina had to painstakingly remove each one, feeling a mix of frustration and tenderness.
You're such a troublemaker.
She muttered, carefully pulling out the last thorn. The little fur ball looked up at her with those big, trusting eyes, and Serafina couldn't help but smile. The third incident was the most alarming. The little fur ball found its way to the library and knocked over a stack of books while chasing a butterfly. The heavy books could have crushed it, and Serafina felt a surge of panic as she rushed to protect the little creature.
You have to be more careful, little fur ball.
She said, holding the trembling fur ball close. She realized how much the little fur ball depended on her and how much she had come to care for it. Despite these troubles, Serafina found herself growing more attached to the little fur ball. The little creature's curiosity and innocence brought a new light into her life, making her days more unpredictable, but also more joyful. She still felt troubled by the responsibility, but a part of her was beginning to enjoy the companionship and the small adventures they shared. As days turned into weeks, Serafina began to care deeply for the little creature. She decided to give it a name, Luna, because its big, round eyes sparkled like the moon. With this new bond, Serafina grew more curious about what kind of creature Luna was. She invited the most knowledgeable people in the kingdom to examine Luna. Scholars, powerful magicians, and travelers who had visited many lands all came to the palace, but none of them knew what Luna was.
Your Highness,
said one of the scholars, shaking his head.
I've never seen anything like it in all my travels and studies.
Determined to find answers, Serafina even went to the royal library herself. She spent hours flipping through ancient books, searching for any clue about Luna's origin, but found nothing. Her frustration grew, but she refused to give up. One day, while exploring a secluded part of the beach where she often went to sunbathe, Serafina stumbled upon something unusual. Hidden under a pile of seaweed was a small metallic object. As she brushed away the seaweed, she realized it was a tiny spaceship, just the right size for Luna. It was then she knew Luna was an alien from outer space.
Oh, Luna.
She whispered, turning to the little creature.
You came from up there, didn't you?
Luna nodded slowly, its big eyes shining with understanding. With this new knowledge, Serafina began trying to communicate with Luna. She patiently taught it her language, showing it how to say simple words and phrases. Luna wasn't a fast learner, often making funny mistakes that made Serafina both laugh and feel exasperated.
Okay. Luna, this is called water.
Serafina said, holding up a glass.
Wawa!
Luna repeated, its eyes wide with concentration. Serafina giggled.
Close enough.
Another time, she showed Luna how to use a fork.
You use it like this. To eat.
She demonstrated. Luna took the fork and tried to comb its fur with it, making Serafina laugh so hard she almost cried. On another occasion, Serafina taught Luna the word fish. Luna misunderstood and called every sea creature fish, including a dolphin and an octopus.
No. Luna.
Serafina corrected gently, pointing to the actual fish.
This is a fish.
Despite these funny mishaps, Serafina found herself growing more attached to Luna. The little alien's curiosity and innocence brought a new light into her life. The changes in Serafina were profound. She was no longer content to lie invisibly on the beach all day. She wanted to explore and learn more about the world, just like Luna.
Mother, have you ever wondered what star Luna came from?
Serafina asked Queen Thalassa one evening. The queen looked surprised, but pleased.
Serafina, I've never heard you ask such a question before. It's wonderful to see you so curious and engaged.
Serafina nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and fear. She was changing, and while it was thrilling, it was also terrifying. She found herself drawn to Luna's innocence and zest for life, and she couldn't imagine her life without the little alien now. Queen Thalassa was delighted to see the changes in Serafina. Her once distant and detached daughter now seemed more engaged and lively. Hoping to build on this positive shift, the queen suggested that Serafina start participating in the management of the kingdom.
Serafina, my dear,
Queen Thalassa said one morning,
I have noticed how much you have grown. I think it is time for you to take on more responsibilities in our kingdom.
Serafina's heart pounded with fear.
But Mother, I don't know if I'm ready.
She stammered. The idea of managing kingdom affairs terrified her. She missed the simplicity of her old life, where she could hide from everything.
Just try, Serafina.
Her mother encouraged.
You'll never know what you're capable of unless you try.
Though she loved spending time with Luna, Serafina noticed that the longer she was with the little creature, the less she felt like her old self. She was afraid of this change. Her life, which had once been so simple and trouble-free, now seemed filled with complications. The first change Serafina noticed in herself was her growing boredom. She found herself no longer content to lie invisibly on the beach all day. Instead, she began to explore more, feeling a strange restlessness she couldn't shake. One day, while she and Luna were wandering near the palace gardens, Serafina saw a group of children playing. Normally, she would have turned away, but this time she found herself watching, even smiling a little at their laughter. Luna tugged at her hand, and Serafina realized how much she had changed. She was engaging with the world more, a fact that both excited and scared her. The second change came when Serafina attended a royal event. Usually, she would have avoided it altogether, but this time she stayed, with Luna perched on her shoulder. The little alien's presence made her feel braver. People noticed and murmured about the princess and her strange companion, but Serafina felt a new kind of pride. She was no longer just the aloof princess. She was someone who cared for another being.
Serafina, you seem different.
One of the court ladies said.
Do you seem happier?
Serafina smiled, a bit shyly.
Perhaps I am.
She admitted. The third change was the most profound. Serafina began to take an active interest in the kingdom's affairs. She started by asking questions, wanting to understand more about how things worked. She even visited the market, something she had never done before. Luna was always with her, observing everything with wide, curious eyes. But with these changes came fear. Serafina was afraid of the troubles brought by her new responsibilities and her growing attachment to Luna. Her life, once simple and trouble-free, was now filled with complications. Determined to restore her old life, Serafina decided to fix Luna's spaceship as soon as possible and send the little alien home. One evening, while sitting on the beach, Serafina decided to talk to Luna about her plan. She looked at the tiny creature who had become such an important part of her life.
Luna,
She began softly.
I think it's time we fix your spaceship and send you home.
Luna looked up at her with big, innocent eyes.
Home?
Luna said in a small, hesitant voice.
No home. Wanderer.
Serafina's heart sank.
You mean you don't have a home to go back to?
Luna nodded.
No home. Wanderer. Alone.
Tears welled up in Serafina's eyes. She had assumed that sending Luna back would be best for both of them. But now she realized how much Luna depended on her. The little alien had no other place to go. Her inner struggle grew. On one hand, she longed for her old, simple life. On the other hand, she couldn't bear the thought of sending Luna away because she knew that Luna was homeless, and giving her away might mean losing her forever. And the thought made her sad. For the first time in her life, Serafina felt truly torn. She had always avoided trouble, but now she faced a decision that she couldn't escape. The responsibility and the bond she had formed with Luna were both overwhelming and heartwarming.
Serafina, are you all right?
Luna asked, noticing her distress. Serafina sighed deeply.
I don't know, Luna. I thought sending you home would solve everything. But now I see that you have no home to return to. I'm so confused.
Luna gently touched Serafina's hand.
Serafina, you friend. Luna, stay.
Serafina looked Luna in the eyes and did not answer. Serafina knew that Luna was a wanderer and had no home to return to. This realization plunged her into deep confusion. She didn't want to change her simple, trouble-free life, but she was worried that Luna, with her innocent and naive nature, couldn't survive on her own. After a painful ideological struggle, Serafina decided to repair the spaceship and send Luna away. One evening, as Serafina sat alone, Queen Thalassa approached her.
Serafina, my dear, what troubles you so?
She asked gently. Serafina took a deep breath.
Mother, I've decided to repair Luna's spaceship and send her away. I need to return to my old life.
Queen Thalassa looked at her daughter with disappointment.
Serafina, Luna has brought so much joy into your life. She has made you happier and more engaged with the world. Can't you see the value in that?
I know, Mother,
Serafina replied, her voice trembling.
but the change is overwhelming. I don't think I can handle it.
Sometimes, the most valuable things in life are the ones that challenge us the most.
Queen Thalassa said softly.
Think about it, my dear.
Serafina nodded, feeling the weight of her decision. Despite her mother's words, she remained determined. Queen Thalassa left, her disappointment evident. Marina also noticed Serafina's distress and tried to persuade her.
Your Highness, Luna has made you so much happier.
Marina said one day.
I've never seen you smile and laugh as much as you do now.
It's just too much, Marina.
Serafina replied.
I feel like I'm losing myself.
But you're not losing yourself.
Marina said gently.
You're finding a new part of yourself. A part that can love and care deeply.
Despite Marina's heartfelt words, Serafina remained resolute. Finally, the spaceship was repaired, and the day of departure arrived. Serafina had meticulously prepared a lot of food and items for Luna, filling her spaceship to the brim. Each item she packed brought a new wave of sadness. She consoled herself that it was the right decision, but that didn't make her feel much better.
Luna, we're going on a little trip.
Serafina said, trying to keep her voice steady. Luna's big eyes lit up with excitement. She thought Serafina was taking her out to play and was very happy.
Trip? Fun! With you, Serafina!
Luna said, clapping her tiny hands.
Yes, Luna. With me.
Serafina replied, her heart aching. They walked to the beach where they had first met. The waves gently lapped at the shore, and the sun cast a golden glow over the scene. Serafina's heart was constantly struggling. Scenes of her time with Luna kept flashing in her mind. She remembered the first time Luna had made her laugh by trying to use a seashell as a hat.
Look, Serafina! Pretty hat!
Luna had said, her eyes twinkling with delight. She also remembered the joy in Luna's eyes when they explored the coral gardens together.
So many colors! Beautiful!
Luna had exclaimed, her excitement contagious. Another memory surfaced of Luna curling up next to her at night, feeling safe and loved.
Good night, Serafina. Luna happy.
She would whisper before falling asleep. As these memories flooded her mind, Serafina's resolve began to waver.
Serafina, we go now? Play?
Luna asked, her voice filled with innocent excitement. Luna didn't understand the meaning of separation. She looked up at Serafina with big, trusting eyes, thinking this was just another adventure. Serafina's heart broke at the sight. She knelt down and hugged Luna tightly, feeling the familiar warmth of the little creature.
Luna, there's something I need to tell you.
She began, her voice trembling.
Yes, Serafina?
Luna looked at her, confused, but trusting.
I was going to send you away. Back to the stars.
Serafina said, tears streaming down her face.
But I can't. I can't do it, Luna. I realize now that friendship and love are more important than avoiding trouble.
Luna's eyes widened with joy.
Stay? With you? Forever?
Yes, Luna. Stay with me forever.
Serafina replied, hugging her tightly.
I was worried you couldn't survive without me. But now I see that I can't survive without you.
From that day on, Serafina and Luna lived happily together. They became the best of friends, learning from each other and sharing countless adventures. Serafina also decided to accept her mother's advice and began to learn how to manage the kingdom and take care of her people. One morning, Serafina approached Queen Thalassa.
Mother, I've decided to help with the kingdom.
She said with determination. Queen Thalassa smiled warmly.
I'm so proud of you, Serafina. You've grown so much.
Serafina nodded, feeling a new sense of purpose. She knew the road ahead would be challenging, but with Luna by her side, she felt ready to face whatever came next. In the end, the Mermaid Princess, who was once afraid of trouble, found the most precious treasure of all, a true friend. Here, our story for today ends. Dear friends, I hope you enjoyed the story of the Mermaid Princess and her alien friend. Remember, just like Serafina and Luna, true friendship and love can help us overcome any difficulties. Now, it's time to close your eyes and let the magic of the story fill your dreams. Lay your head on the pillow, curl up in the bed, and let your imagination take you to your own adventure. May the night bring you rest and good dreams. Good night, my friends. May your dreams be full of miracles and joy. Sleep well and have a good dream. We will have more stories and adventures tomorrow.